Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Eset, and welcome back to the channel for the Chel reveal they're about to do on the Titan Talk, of course, aspect as well. Going to be an Enchanter-style aspect from what we've heard, and she's going to have some +1s of, like, additional echo on her ultimate and heal scaling on her too. Should be pretty exciting. Obviously, stay tuned for the patch recap for the rest of the stuff that isn't Chel in the patch that will be coming out shortly, and then also the Ramen PTS preview, assuming he's going to be on. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the Chel showcase. And there she is.
Look at her.
Looking nice. We obviously saw her on PTS, but fully finished now?
Remember from Smite 1, she's kind of a mid to long range mage with kind of focusing on like relatively consistent damage and a good amount of utility.
Yeah.
A lot of
Shel's the first god being made by the new designer as well, so if that's who you're hearing in the background, the new voices are the new designer.
Or tried to add a little bit of quality of life too.
Neat. So we'll start off with the passive then, I guess, just on the basic attacks as well, just to kind of start things off, and we'll go through each of the abilities. So first of all, Rainbow Weaver. Obviously, you gain a Rainbow Weaver stack whenever you deal abilities, hit an enemy god, or grant a beneficial effect to an ally. And at 6 stacks, your next attack has no movement penalty, is larger, and travels further across. This was already in Smite 1 as well, so a lot of players will be used to that. And we'll see like how that plays out too.
Yeah, for sure. What's the easiest thing is just like anytime you're hitting your abilities on anyone who's not any god that's not really yourself, you're gonna get a stack.
Okay.
The small note here is just because of changes from Smite 1 to Smite 2, that 40% int is still technically 60% int just because of the base amount you get.
Gotcha.
So you're getting a little bit more int payoff, but it should be relatively about the same.
Man, you already appear in wise to the Smite 1 player base when they're like, wait, that's lower, and you're like, actually, no, with the changes, this has happened. So glad you're up to date on that. We'll move on to the first ability, then Gleaming Blast. A lot of people would know about this ability if you played Smite 1, but in Smite 2, very, very similar.
Yeah, what's a range speed?
Targets look good.
Shoot out. It's gonna stop on first god hit. Does some magic damage and then swaps to her second first ability, which is Threads of Life. So a nice cone out here.
Yep.
Shoots a bunch of beams and hits the target at range. 2 specific things about these abilities. One, Gleaming Blast does do extra damage to non-god monsters and minions to help you out with wave clear. You're only going to get that swap if you hit the first god.
Yes.
So if you just throw it on the wave just to clear, you don't hit the first god, you're only going to get the first part of that ability.
So playing against her in a weird way, you would want to kind of a position just outside of a line of hitting those minions to make a choose almost.
Yeah, don't give her everything in the kitchen sink. Then you're going to get that Frizz of Light damage. That's going to shoot out there. If you see on the Frizz of Light, you've got that little bit tip of the cone. That is kind of your sweet spot. That's going to do an extra 25% damage if you hit down there. And then if you shoot it at an enemy god that's facing you, you're going to get a 1-second blind.
Oh, okay. For some reason, my brain did not process the 1-second blind, so this will blind from the front if you're in the top half of the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a very quick blind, but it is. I find it disorienting in combat when it happens, which is good. Like that's the point of it, So it's interesting the way that flows into the kit.
So that's the first ability. Then we'll move on to Lunar Invocation, which is the bread and butter, I want to say, of what you do a lot.
Okay, 10% scaling on the 2. Yeah, that's not a right lot. That's probably fine.
Yes, for sure. Well, this is like pretty simple. You're gonna drop down kind of an AOE area. It's gonna blow up after I think it's a second and a quarter.
We want like an extra 80 with like a really high end build. It's not too bad.
Enemies, knock them up, and then heal all allies, including yourself. So between this and your 1, just
those effects look so nice.
The 2 on the wave just to finish off anyone who's a little bit less cost, and then kind of backing away.
Yeah.
Relatively good way of just like kind of keeping your clear up and keeping the mid pushed.
Yeah, I find this is also a really good like somebody's jumping on me button because she doesn't have a ton of mobility, right? But if you just put this under yourself,
yeah, a lot of
then
self
whoever's
heal
trying
though.
to attack you is going to get knocked up, and you're going to get healed.
Self heal, knock up, self heal,
So the
room,
second ability
extra
is the
movement
knock up on
speed,
that, and then
CC immune
next
ult.
ability? I was actually going to say. So,
Apologies, it was a
go
little
on, you
skip
can
there.
explain.
I am on the board,
No,
so I'm having to
since,
continually refresh it because I missed the start of the show.
Invocation.
Yeah.
In Smite 2, we have this whole moonlight phase.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to do a little bit of a thing that
What did we
connects
do
the two.
quickly?
Well, if you saw the crystal that was
Yeah.
right there, wasn't there after you hit it. So
Correct.
if you just drop the 2 around the crystal.
I thought it was a bug. I'm not gonna lie. I saw him and
No,
I should
that is
That's kinda cool.
intended. What's it called? You still have to go over and pick up the crystals,
Sure.
so it's not
But you can
broken.
one-shot those.
And it doesn't pick up any crystals that are on the ground. So
Gotcha.
people are on the center altar and they're taking it. You can't snag crystals from them.
Neat,
But it's
okay.
little gimmick.
I will say, for those at home, the reason I'm being weird about that is because it does say a secret +1, and I'm like,
Yes.
are we even going to talk about the secret +1, or are we just going to let people discover it? And I accidentally did it without even
Well,
realizing it.
it's
So,
that's cool, man. That's just like very flavorful, but like not that gameplay like
that was
crazy.
just like an idea you had because you were like, oh, it's a moon god. We should somehow tie it into the moonlight
Yeah.
phase. Yeah, so it's cool.
give it a bit of vulnerable set. So that's the second ability. We'll move on then to the Rainbow Crash. As you can see, the rainbows do crash and release all the little sprites.
Orbs?
Rainbow orbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, orbs. Okay.
Yeah. What's up? Projectile shoots out. This thing is actually like pretty long.
85%
range,
in scaling,
crouch down,
dude.
and
Jesus.
then, yeah, root.
Was it
root-
that in
root
Smite
damage
1?
You hit. Do a little bit of
It's kind of
damage.
crazy.
The scaling on this is actually like pretty okay. I think it's like 85%.
Mm.
Yeah. But the orbs come down. You get the movement speed from the orbs, but importantly, Ishtel also gets movement speed when she casts it.
Okay.
Your allies, everyone can only pick up one orb, so the run crosses the wall, runs into you, it's just going to disappear. But Ixchel, she can throw it and pick up the orb, so she kind of gets to double dip. That's just how it was in Smite 1.
Yeah.
We kept that in.
And getting zoomy.
Get your zoom, you get speed around. We've seen a good amount of playtests where people are just kind of
Throwing this around and getting
tossing this
zoomed
around and
Yep.
getting between lanes.
But it's got a pretty good range on that as well. Cast time seems standard for what we saw before, and like the root is also still there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and your 3 can set up your 2, and your 2 can set up your 3, and your 1 can weave in. However, you know, they kind of just like all flow together in interesting ways.
Definitely. And that's a little look.
Yeah, she has some nasty base kit combos, man.
That I'm missing?
No, what's a orb skin just bounce off 2 times and just the damage on here does scale up, but the
Yeah.
movement speed and the root that's just gonna stay static.
And then last but not least, then I guess is the ultimate.
The big
great end.
beam.
That's the great
As
end.
everyone, and let me tell you, it does end. Eventually.
Eventually.
It keeps going for a little bit, depending. Yeah, this is beam 2.
rainbow. Yep.
What's a very similar to Anubis, except that you can move around. Gonna shoot out this beam. We're gonna do damage in the line. We're gonna damage enemies, and we're gonna heal allies.
Okay. So I'm just going to showcase it on this.
Yes.
And this is probably the most extreme chat. I'll say this now because I'm going to stand still and nobody else moves either.
Yeah, you
But-
get the extra duration.
Yeah. So what's up? We're very happy we were able to
Beautiful.
keep the sigil in there. That was kind of the Smite 1 VFX that kind of shows the duration as you're using it. And seeing as the sigil was kind of going down, it was kind of stopping a little bit. That's because the duration extends every time you hit both an enemy and an ally got at the same time.
Yeah.
The base duration is 3 seconds. So you see there, it's gonna go for 3 seconds. It extends up to 6 seconds. So you can basically get
That much damage out.
basically effectively double the amount of damage and double the amount of healing. One thing for this, if you kind of cast it and kind of move up next to this guy, just get like right up in his face.
Up in this guy's face?
Just try to hit the side of the beam. What's up? So the hitbox is actually like on the width is a little bit wider than Smite 1, just because there was some little instances of like you're shooting that beam. It's like I feel like I should be getting this guy, especially when you're trying to like get that duration. And if you fire it on the same target, you'll see the damage go up and up.
Yeah.
That's because each tick, the damage is gonna ramp up from in like 5% increments up to basically 2 times per tick. So you want to keep that on it. The fall off currently, I think, is just 3.5 seconds. So if you miss like 1.5 ticks, you're not going to lose everything.
Right. But
as
you are
long
going to
as-
lose some.
Yeah. But you keep on the target, then you don't lose all of your damage fall off.
Awesome. So let's look at, and I do realize here it says something about Echo involved in this
Yes.
too, right?
Yeah, the +1.
This is +1. What's a big thing about Great End is that when you cast it, you get full stacks of your passive.
Yeah.
Now, if you already have full stacks of your passive, you weren't really getting anything from that, so
Sure.
you kind of were losing out on the benefit. So the +1 that's gotten added in here, is that if you start Great End while having your passive fully stacked, you're gonna get 20 echo for the duration.
Okay. So if I just, that's great job. I got my passive up first. One sec.
No, wasted by attacking.
Habits. Okay.
Yes.
And so if I ult now,
If you alt now, you will have 20 echoes. So you'll be seeing those little purple numbers.
didn't trigger it, didn't proc it. You got unlucky with the 20.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Well, it's not that much. Maybe one, was a,
Nah, it's just bugged, man.
You're gonna get a
There's no
little
way you have that many
but
ticks
also
without
opens the
echoing
map,
ones.
Like if you do want to go like more of a full echo build with
Yeah.
the ever changes we have coming in the patch.
Leaking stuff. Go on, carry on.
They know it's echo.
Then Chel is your girl to do it. Obviously, it doesn't. Echo synergizes the best probably with her ultimate,
Yes.
then less so the rest of her kits. Yeah, it's a build path you can go if you want to go full beam.
Full beam damage the whole time. That's a great little look at Ixchel then. She's going to be available on PTS. Is PTS going to be tonight, Kogun?
Aspect
Yes, should be
time.
today.
Hell yeah. I love the triangle underneath as well, the rainbows. That's amazing too.
Yeah, everything about her turned out great. I think the effects turned out great. Who did the effects on her? I don't even remember.
It was art.
Oh,
Yeah, the effects
You
look
did a great job on
incredible,
this,
man.
as he always does. And
As
so-
always.
I was talking about that on the PTS, and you guys were saying like they don't look this good in Smite 1 because I didn't really remember.
Unless it's intended.
They look
not
really
intended.
good.
I'll take a look at it. Upcoming Leon. Can the healing echo? The healing cannot echo. Echo is only on damage.
Good to know. I imagine the Echo healing too. Goodness, that's a balance point.
Be a lot.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the base version. Is there anything else we've missed in that quickly? I know we generally cover these pretty quick, but we do have to still go on to your aspect
Yes.
as well.
What's yeah, we can move on over to the aspect.
What's the aspect called?
one
The
sec.
aspect of the
the aspect of the mother's light.
of the mother's light.
Very
like
very maternal.
Yeah,
and
very
You'll
nice.
see a lot of very protective feeling.
Yes,
which
our mother.
Our
Yeah, I think this has been a fun, interesting, different sort of aspect to play with in playtest so far. I'm not going to give any more spoilers than that, but the only thing chat knows is Enchanter. So I'm excited to have him take a look here once we get loaded in. Yeah.
We'll go back in game.
Yeah, it turns out you turn into a pumpkin. That's the beginning of it.
Sorry.
Yo, pumpkin
Back in.
aspect?
Yeah, you're a pumpkin. Okay, so
Let's
walk
go.
me through. What's the goal of the aspect here, quickly?
So for the aspect, like.
The one
I'll pull
says
back the curtain
shield.
a little bit. Since this was my first aspect,
Yeah.
it's relatively straightforward. There's
Right.
nothing terms of crazy. All of your abilities are going to be the same shape and size. What's about relatively the same
Yeah.
gameplay and pacing in terms of cooldowns. Although the biggest thing about the aspect is that it kind of pushes Ishtal more towards a support role.
Okay.
Ishtal in Smite 1 already was kind of relatively decent as a support herself.
Sure.
And that's something you can still do in Smite 2 if you want to run base Ishtal support. So the goal with the aspect is, providing kind of a little bit of a different feeling for that.
Oh, no damage on the one at
Sure,
all.
sure,
At
What's
all.
What's a less of a pokey support, more of
Have
a
shields allies?
shieldy support.
Okay, so obviously, is it more shieldy, so less damage overall, but more survivability and sustain for your teammates? That's kind of the goal here.
In terms of damage, we have way less damage.
Way less.
So
Way
if you
less.
want to look over on the aspect,
aspect?
on the aspect distortion, first thing you're gonna read is that your gleaming blast and your great end no longer deal damage.
Right.
No
so you
damage
want
whatsoever.
No
and your
damage
four.
whatsoever.
No longer deal damage.
You are down from 4 to 2 damaging abilities.
Whew.
That is just because we have now fully ramped that 1 and the 4 into full shielding and healing.
Full shielding and healing.
Also,
So-
it's going to shield as well on the ult.
So if we're going to fire the 1 on a target, it's going to give a shield. Now,
That's a
which
big
is-
shield.
which You can see that.
What's that? It's gonna give a shield to an what's a teammate? It's gonna give a shield to every teammate you hit.
Oh. Okay.
The base shielding is pretty decent, especially like if you cast this early on in lane, like you can, if you time it well, you're gonna get like a pretty good like cancel on like an enemy ability or enemy trait.
Okay.
If you'd spawn, do you have a second?
I will get a second.
Second ally
I was gonna
Odin.
do that, but I was distracted. Oh. There we go. 2 of them now. So if I hit both of these.
Both of these, it's gonna go through. It's gonna hit both abilities.
Okay.
So if you line up a lot of allies, you're gonna get a lot of shield value.
Okay.
And does this stop on enemies hit now, or does not stop on enemies?
So if you go up to the second Odin, you just shoot it down the line of enemies.
Okay. Just go to here.
Yeah. It no longer stops when the first enemy god hit. So
Right.
it's just gonna go through everybody. It's just gonna give shields to allied gods. It's gonna give slows to enemy gods.
Good example of this. Like that.
Yeah, and that still does damage.
You'll see that can shield both of them. But the second.
And that'll be very easy to get now as well,
Secondary
because you
fire
just
still
two an ally.
Secondary fire is still untouched because you still need have a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Something we have found though, it's like although like the slow is decent at 60%. The shield is also decent. If you kind of thumb over the tooltip for the AO1, like the shield is currently sitting
500.
It scales up from like 220
And 80% int.
shield right now,
Yeah.
and it's got 80% int scaling.
Bro.
So
Good amount of int scaling.
especially if you go a higher
At a
build,
60% slow for 3 seconds?
Thing we've definitely realized in playtest.
On a
Ideally, you want
6
to
second
be getting as
cooldown?
many gods and allies as possible.
Yes.
In actuality,
Bro, let me know in the comments. Am I crazy or is that OP
it
as
doesn't
fuck?
necessarily pan out in that way.
The number of times that my allies have dodged my shields at a crucial moment is too damn high. But no,
Like,
it's,
granted, it does no damage now,
it's
but
still,
like, still.
really fun to try and line it up. You know,
Yeah.
it is some skill shot in actually hitting these. And yeah, and
It's
then
definitely a different playstyle. I'll say that. Like in terms of like playing as a support, you do get some damage out, but you're really focused on peeling, protecting your teammates, allowing them to engage, and hopefully, when the players understand how you play as an XL aspect, they'll be able to play around it more and be more aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the shielding and protections you're
Yeah, like when you have
Well,
a
and
Kep
they
reel
aren't moving
ready
right
or
now, so you
whatever, or
can't
Kep
really
shield.
See how strong that
You can
slow
play
is
like a
already.
lunatic and get away with it.
Very strong slow.
Yeah.
So it is impactful even if it's not dealing damage.
The other thing is also like it's going on cooldown as soon as it's pretty much firing out here.
Yeah.
Like
What shall I create next? For you, tree of pain.
you have the duration of it firing out for it to go down for the next blast.
Yeah.
If it hits even though the cooldown is like relatively low on the shield, if it hits an enemy, you're gonna go into the 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So low key, there's been like half instances where like I've shot the shield at someone, and then it's like, well, now I'm in the 2. So it's like you kind of like the 2 is like you could think of maybe like an extra like 2 to 3 seconds of cooldown.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
You don't
waiting
use it
for that to
instantly
go
all the time.
through.
Yeah.
Sure. So that's the one.
That makes
then the
sense,
2
yeah.
still the same. Any changes here?
2, the biggest thing, the damage has gone down, the healing has gone up.
Okay.
So
Hard for me to show the healing at the moment, unfortunately, but yeah.
80%
gone
in
down to
scaling on the
30%.
heal, bro. What are we doing?
Was 30%? The inch.
They are really
is
pushing this.
at- what's it called? Yeah, the base healing is 240 scaling. Up.
Bro, there's no way with
40%
25% anti-heal, we have an
that-
80% scaling heal.
That is high. That has already been hit down from 80% to 40%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
we already
okay.
saw that was a much, but you're getting
It's gonna be
more
40, not 80.
more healing off of it, and like some of these other things, the values.
Yeah, 40's still a good amount
Sure.
in Smite 2, but
An eye on. But yeah, you're dealing damage. You're still overall.
80 would have been
And the 3
insane.
still stays the 3 for the most part. Still the root,
3
still the movement
is
speed.
completely the same. Yeah. What's it called?
Hits an enemy, hits an ally.
You're gonna get the damage on there. It's also like especially since like you're losing damage on the 1 and the 2, it's even more important for you to kind of like
Yeah.
either like land that damage for a trade or just like it's like okay like putting everything in your hunter's position and being like hands off like I will be here to catch you and
Yeah.
save you, but like you better land those autos.
If you are playing this aspect and your teammates are not playing very well, you're going to feel pretty useless.
Yeah, I bet, I
But
bet.
if you have somebody that you can play with and really support and you can help your teammates succeed, then it feels great, right? It's you are not the main character with this,
Yes.
with this, I would say. And sometimes even like, because your shield, it doesn't shield yourself. Your 2 heal can heal yourself. Your ult, which we'll see in a second, like still doesn't heal yourself. So a lot of the things that you can do to help keep people alive don't also help you. So
Correct.
if you're just getting jumped on, like
You're
you
gonna
don't
die.
have a lot of answers for that.
You really have your knock up and you run away.
Yes.
That's really what you're looking
Yeah,
at.
you have a lot of utility, but you really don't have a lot to save yourself. So if you are getting like one, it's very easy for you to get targeted, especially if you want to index towards those higher shields and those higher heals and go more of an intelligence build.
Yeah.
Like you better be watching your bushes, or else you're just gonna die. And like if you are like a solo ranked player,
Yeah.
like low key, you're gonna be preying on teammates a little bit if you run this ability.
If you play support, you do that.
Yeah,
anyway.
you might want to
There's
duo
an extra
Q
reason
ADC
for
if you're
it.
gonna play
Yeah,
this.
extra reason. Like you might want to think about like the base Chel instead of the aspect for just like solo queuing for ranked. But if you're in a team situation or you have a duo.
So last but not least is the ultimate. Now we've already mentioned this ultimate will no longer do damage. It'll only heal, from my understanding.
20% in per tick.
So what's up? So yeah. So
How many times does it tick?
The 4 is now all heal. What you said there, Graham? How the duration extend has changed. It no longer extends when hitting enemies.
Okay.
It only extends when you hit a new ally.
Oh.
So if you pull up the tooltip there.
Yeah.
Instead of what it was before, basically every tick you're extending, you get 1 second every time you hit a new ally.
5 ticks per second.
The only way you're gonna max out the aspect
Is
duration.
scream at your teammates to line up.
Exactly. It's literally wiping it across.
That's a lot of healing, man.
Like a windshield.
Okay.
Yeah,
to,
no
like,
damage.
Get a
I
tick
get
on
it.
all of your allies.
Well, I'm gonna try.
That's a big nerf.
Test this in a certain way for you all. So let's see if they'll live a little bit longer, but we can showcase. Oh my lord, it's gonna be longer.
So the healing per tick is like pretty high.
Yep.
But the biggest thing, we can't really showcase it the best here. But you see that on the tooltip, you'll see that it says the healing is divided equally among allied gods hit.
Okay.
So if you are healing
So if you're hitting
two allies
multiple
at once,
at the
it
same
gets
time.
cut in half.
Gotcha.
If you heal free, it gets cut in half.
Yeah.
Or it gets cut into thirds.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can either choose, hey, I want to heal all of my teammates a lot.
Yeah.
Or you're like, okay, no, I got to whip this around and keep it in the face of my hunter so he doesn't die to the best stack coming over the wall. So you can save everybody a bit, or you can save one guy a lot.
A lot. Yeah, by swiping it across. That makes sense, and that kind of
Interesting.
adds up to it. It's very strong, as everyone can see, but again, no damage.
No damage.
However, you are potentially making a raid boss for a second, like a Kali ultimate,
Yes.
almost a Kepri sort of situation of like, he's not gonna die. He's a raid boss. Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, you are still CC immune. You can still move while using it.
Yeah.
But another change is you don't benefit from any of the healing anymore.
Nope.
So again, like you
More
give-
susceptible.
you
Yeah, you
have a
could
lot
just
of
nuke the
utility,
Chel instead of
but,
hitting the guy
like,
she's
if you-
healing.
If the enemy team knows what support Chel does, or
Yeah.
have seen you save someone in a fight before,
Yep.
like you better be scared because you're still
100%.
gonna just get jumped off.
100%. It's one of those things of as you play the game, you'll realize whether the team is really working with their X-Shell or not, and then you realize you may have to kill the X-Shell before you kill the carry or the frontline
Yes,
tank.
and I feel like for internal playtest, we've kind of all mentally.
adjusted.
Yeah. The first few playtests were like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and then we're like, we just gotta jump the East challenge. She's,
Yeah, just kill her instead.
amazing.
Because if she's
Yeah.
building a
Oh,
lot
she's
of
gonna
int to get the heal scaling, she's gonna be
You
squishy as
still
fuck.
get the if you're a little support gremlin, you want to run around the map,
Stealing all those? Oh, yeah.
What's it, stealing them up or handing them off to your teammates?
You don't hand them off. You never do that. Awesome. Well, thank you quickly for showing us all that. That's great. We're gonna. Is there anything?
But yeah, there's Chel. Looking good, man. I think the aspect, it looks really fun. I think it's going to be really interesting to play with. I'm a little bit terrified of it without anti-heal in the game, though. Like, the 2's heal scaling, they said they already nerfed it. I don't know if you caught that. 80% is going to be 40 instead, not the 80 that was shown. 80 will be absolutely absurd, but, even 40 is not too bad if you're building, a high-end build. Not entirely sure how this will be built. I would expect, like, Bruiser Mage, probably. I don't think it's going to be like a full damage build. It'd just be too vulnerable and easier pick off, I imagine. But I also don't think you're probably building it full tank like you would build like an Afro support. Like, probably not. Yes, you have a couple of like valuable CCs in like the 2 and the 3, but like, your ult's not gonna do much if you're not getting any in for the heal scaling. The shield on the 1 also scales pretty heavy. I think it was like 80%, which by the way is absurd. It's like a 500 shield and 80% in scaling. Like, that is going to be insane. Like, those shields are going to be way bigger than Geb shields by late game, and you can hit multiple people with it. Like, that probably needs to get nerfed, honestly. It does seem like they've really tried to push this though, which I think makes some sense because a lot of the time with enchanter buff debuff kind of like picks, you don't feel their impact as much. Granted, this one is a little bit more heavy on like healing and shielding, which is more visible than, you know, just like buffing your teammates like you would with like a Chronos aspect or whatever. But those kind of picks do often go undervalued because you don't see their impact. So maybe they're trying to like push this one pretty heavy just so people will play it and see how powerful these picks kind of can be. And then maybe that puts more of a spotlight on like Chronos aspect, Chiron aspect, those kind of ones. But yeah, it does seem really pushed. Like the shield is going to be absurd. The two, even at 40% scaling, you know, if you have like an 800 int build, that's like 320 just from the scaling. And then, you know, I think it was like 200 base. It's like a 500 heal. Int items have great cooldown options, you know, Pendulum, Chronos Pendant. You can go World Stone for your ult. I'm a little bit scared of this being like a way too good, like disengage and heal kind of playstyle. You know, Hell's coming to the game soon as well. You know, maybe that'll be similar. So yeah, I think what I would say is like I'm apprehensive, but it looks really fun. You know, I think the balance of this is going to be one way or the other. You know, depending on the numbers they've gone. If these numbers stay, it's probably OP as hell. If these numbers get nerfed, you know, maybe it isn't as useful. But yeah, I'm a little apprehensive of this kind of a thing in an environment where we only have 25% anti-heal and like very limited anti-shield. Isn't erosion like the only anti-shield in the game? Or Linnaean Bow, right? I think Linnaean Bow works. Oh, and Shield Splitter, actually. Okay, now we do have a decent bit of anti-shield, I guess. But yeah, like all this healing with only 25% anti-heal. We'll see how it works out, man. We'll see how it works out. Let me know your thoughts on this down below, of course, and stay tuned for the full patch recap that will be coming out shortly and the Raven PTS preview. I'll catch you guys in those videos in a bit. Peace.